Hello students, welcome to the last part of this surface chemistry chapter. It is the class 6. So, in last class I explained about properties of colloidal solutions. So, colligative properties, Tyndall effect, colors, why colloids exhibit color, Brownian moment, charge on colloids, that means positive colloids, negatively charged colloids, electrophoresis, the movement of colloidal particles through opposite electrode. So, seventh property, coagulation, started in last class. Coagulation, it is also known as precipitation. What is meant by coagulation? This one only, coagulation. What is meant by coagulation? The conversion of a colloidal solution into precipitate, the conversion of a colloidal solution into precipitate by the addition of a small amount of electrolyte, conversion of colloidal solution into precipitate by the addition of electrolyte is called coagulation or flocculation or precipitation or flocculation or coagulation. These three terms are same. Settled, these particles, colloidal particles are settled down because by the addition of electrolyte. So next topic is coagulating value. The coagulation of colloids by an electrolyte takes place only the electrolyte has certain minimum concentration. So that means you take one colloid here. So for this colloidal solution you add some electrolyte. So by the addition of this electrolyte, this coagulation may or may not takes place. For the coagulation, this electrolyte should be present in certain minimum concentration. The minimum concentration of electrolyte in millimoles, that is added to 1 liter. Here this is taken 1 liter colloidal sol is taken. How many millimoles of electrolyte is added to start the coagulation, to bring about complete coagulation, is called flocculation value or coagulating value of the electrolyte. How to define coagulating value of the electrolyte? You have to take 1 liter of colloidal sol. To become this 1 liter of colloidal sol into precipitate or coagulation, complete coagulation, some electrolyte is needed, some amount of electrolyte is needed. How many millimoles of electrolyte is needed? That amount is called coagulating value of the electrolyte. The minimum concentration of electrolyte in millimoles that is added to 1 liter of the colloidal sol to bring out the complete coagulation is called the flocculation value or coagulating value of the electrolyte for this sol. According to Hardy and Sulji, coagulation of colloids by electrolyte is governed by two factors. So that coagulation depending on two factors. First factor, ions carrying charge opposite to that of the colloidal particles are effective in bringing about coagulation. That means for this sol you are reading electrolyte. This electrolyte contains plus ion, minus ion. If it is colloid is negatively charged, this positive ion is needed. If sol is a positively charged sol, Then for coagulation, negatively charged ions are needed. Ions carrying the charge opposite to the that of the colloidal particles are effective in bringing about coagulation. Charge should be opposite. Next, coagulation power of an electrolyte is directly proportional to valency of its ions. So, coagulation power is directly proportional to valency of its ions. These two observations made by Hardy and Sulji are called Hardy-Sulji rule. This is about Hardy-Sulji rule. It is important for examination, for competitive examination also. So what is Hardy-Sulji rule? The greater the valence of the percolating ion added, the greater is its power of cause of precipitation. That means coagulation power is directly proportional to charge. Valency means charge of the ion. Greater is the charge of the ion, greater is the coagulating power. I will take one example here. This is negatively charged sol. For this negatively charged sol, if we are adding electrolyte, which ion is needed? Electrolyte contains two ions, positive and negative. That coagulation is influenced by positive ion. In one case, you take Al plus 3 ion. In another case, you take three examples. In one case, Al plus 3 ion, AlCl3 you add, second one BaCl2, third one NaCl. What is the ion in first case? Al plus 3. In second case, Ba plus 2. In third case, Na plus. In these three, in which ion charge is more? Al plus 3 charge is more. Greater is the charge, greater is the coagulation. That means here Al plus 3, by the addition of Al plus 3, coagulation will take place effectively, more easily. In the coagulation of negative sol, the percolating power is in the order Al plus 3 greater than Ba plus 2 greater than Na plus. Greater charge is there in Al plus 3 case, so coagulation power is more. Similarly, you take here positively charged sol. So positively charged sol, for coagulation of positively charged sol, negative ion is needed. Negative ion of electrolyte is needed. So here K4FeCN6 is the electrolyte. From K4FeCN6, this ferrocyanide ion, it is called ferrocyanide ion. Next one, phosphate ion, sulfate ion, chloride ion. Here charge is 1, here charge is 2, here charge is 3, here charge is 4. In which case charge is more? Ferrocyanide ion. Greater is the charge, greater is the coagulation. So ease of coagulation is easy by the addition of ferrocyanide ion. So this is about Hardy-Sulji rule. What is Hardy-Sulji rule? The greater the valency of the percolating ion added, the greater is its power to cause precipitation. This is known as Hardy-Sulji rule. You can see here phosphate ion, PO4 minus 3 ions gather more closely to the positive charge Fe plus 3 particle than Cl minus ion. Here this sol is positively charged sol. This sol is positively charged sol. Here this one also positively charged sol. In first case FeOH3, sol is FeOH3, positively charged sol. For this coagulation purpose, you are added some NaCl. That means Cl minus ions are working for coagulation. it needs more Cl minus ions. By adding phosphate ions, suppose you take Na3PO4 is an electrolyte, PO4 minus 3 ion is negative ion. Because Sol is positively charged Sol, it needs negative ion for the coagulation. So phosphate ions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 phosphate ions needed for the coagulation of this Sol. Whereas here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 Cl minus ions are needed for the coagulation of this positive charged Sol. So if your charge is more, number of ions less, that is enough to coagulation. So coagulation will take place easily if the charge is more. That means greater is the charge, greater is the coagulation. Next one, coagulation of lyophilic sols. There are two factors which are responsible for the stability of lyophilic sols. Lyophilic sols are more stable than lyophobic sols, already discussed in classification of colloids. Lyophilic sols are comparatively more stable. There are two factors that influence the stability of lyophilic sols. These factors are the charge, one is charge and another one is solvation of the colloidal particles. When these two factors are removed, a lyophilic sol can be coagulated. How charge is influencing? Because all colloidal particles having positive charge, because of repulsions between positive charge, they are always in movement, Brownian movement. So that's why colloids are stable. Second one, solvation. Solvation is more that dispersed phase and dispersion medium are attracted more strongly, held together strongly, then that sol is called lyophilic sol. If you remove these two factors, if these two factors are removed, lyophilic sol can be coagulated. This is done by adding an electrolyte. That means if you are adding an electrolyte, these colloids, they will lose charge. By adding a suitable solvent, the interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium becomes weak. So that means lyophilic sols can be coagulated by removing charge and solvation by adding oppositely charged electrolyte and solvent. Next one, how to protection of colloids. Next topic is protection of colloids. Protective colloid. So what is meant by protective colloid? They will ask in examination. Important definition. So lyophilic sols are more stable than lyophobic sols. It is already you know. Philic means liking, phobic means hating. Here attractions are more, here attraction is less. The interaction between dispersed phase and dispersion medium are more, so that's why they are more stable. Here interactions are less stable. This is due to the fact that lyophilic colloids are extensively solvated. Lyophilic colloids have unique property of protecting lyophobic colloids. Lyophilic colloids have a unique property of protecting lyophobic colloids. When lyophilic sol is added to the lyophobic sol, the lyophilic particles form a layer around the lyophobic particles and thus protect the latter from the electrolyte. This is called protective colloid. Again I will explain here. This is lyophobic sol. You know lyophobic sol is less stable. Less stable means it is ready to coagulate. It is ready to coagulate. So to prevent this coagulation, to prevent the coagulation of lyophobic sol, you have to add some lyophilic soul. Lyophilic soul. So that's why this lyophilic soul protect the lyophobic soul from coagulation. You see, lyophilic colloids used for this purpose. So this lyophilic soul protect lyophobic soul from coagulation. Which colloids are protective colloids? Either lyophilic or lyophobic? Yes, lyophilic souls are protective colloids. Lyophilic souls protects lyophobic souls from coagulation. Again you see, lyophilic colloids have unique property of protecting lyophobic colloids. When lyophilic soul is added to the lyophobic soul, the lyophilic particles form a layer around lyophobic particles and thus protect the latter from electrolytes. Lyophilic colloids used for this purpose are called protective colloids. Next topic is emulsion. This is not there in our syllabus, even though try to listen and try to understand concept. Emulsions are colloids in which both dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Dispersed phase is liquid, dispersion medium is also liquid. If both the components dispersed phase and dispersion medium are liquids, then that colloids are called emulsions. Colloids are of 8 types. From 8 types, one type of colloid is emulsion, that is liquid-liquid. Liquid in liquid type colloid is called emulsion. Emulsions are colloids in which both the phases are liquids. These are two types, liquid-liquid, liquid in liquid. So this liquid may be oil type substance, the liquid may be water type substance. This is one type, oil in water. This is first type, oil in water. Dispersed phase is oil, dispersion medium is water. So that means water content is more, oil content is less, that is first type. Second type, liquid in liquid, water in oil. Dispersed phase is water, dispersion medium is oil. Oil content is more. Oil in water type emulsion, water in oil type emulsion. First type, oil in water type. Water acts as dispersion medium. Water acts as dispersion medium. Examples in this type emulsion, milk and vanishing cream are the examples for oil in water. In milk, water content is more, fat content is less. In vanishing cream also water content is more. In milk, liquid fat is dispersed in water. Second type emulsion is water in oil type. Oil is dispersion medium, water is dispersed phase. Oil acts as dispersion medium. Common examples are butter and cream. Butter, cream, cod liver oil also example for this water in oil type. What is emulsification? The process of making emulsion is called emulsification. The process of making emulsion is called emulsification. Emulsions are stabilized by adding emulsifying agent or stabilizer. You know water and kerosene. You know kerosene oil is insoluble in water. So you take in one container kerosene and water like this, two layers will be there. There is a difference in density. By adding soap, in the presence of soap, both will mix together. They will form emulsion because both are liquids. Phase, dispersed phase and dispersion medium are liquids. So it is called emulsion. In the presence of soap only this emulsion will form. So that's why soap is called emulsifying agent or stabilizer. So formation of emulsion, this process is called emulsification. Next last topic, Last topic, this one, collides around us. You know, blue color of the sky. So collides around us, some examples there here, 5, 6. Dust particles along with water suspended in air scatter blue light which reaches our eyes and the sky looks blue to us. So this is scattering, you know, Tyndall effect. So this is one collide, sky, blue color of the sky. Next, blood is one more collide, you know. Blood is a colloidal solution of an albuminoid substance. That means RBC or WBC, erythrocytes, plus some liquid water. So medium is water, this phase is dispersed phase is RBC. It is a colloidal solution of an albuminoid substance. So blood is in a collide. The styptic action of alum and ferric chloride solution is due to coagulation of blood forming clot which stops further bleeding. You know, to stop bleeding, alum will use. Alum is a double salt with formula K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice dot 24H2O. K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice dot 24H2O. From this alum, this Al plus 3 ion will work to stop this bleeding. That means it is useful for coagulation. Blood is coagulated by which ion? Al plus 3 ion. Al plus 3 ion means, that means blood is which type of soul? Negative charged soul. So it needs positive ion. So to arrest this bleeding, styptic action. What is the meaning of styptic action? To stop bleeding. To stop bleeding. So blood is one collide. So this coagulation is done by using alum Al plus 3 or ion, one more ferric ion also. Formation of delta. You know, river water is a colloidal solution of clay. River water is a colloidal solution of clay. Sea water contains number of salts, that means electrolytes. So it is an electrolyte. You take a colloidal solution, add some electrolyte. What will happen? Colloidal solution, electrolyte. What is colloidal solution here? River. What is electrolyte? Sea water. Salts present in sea water. By adding electrolyte, colloidal particles settled down. That means coagulation will take place. Here also clay will settle down some place. So this is called delta. This is delta. What is meant by delta? River water is a colloidal solution of clay. Sea water contains number of electrolytes. When river water meets the sea water, the electrolytes present in sea water coagulate the colloidal solution of clay, resulting in its deposition with the formation of delta. Wherever this river water and sea water meets, that area you can find this type of delta because of coagulation. Next one is collides around us, rain, mist and fog. These are also examples of collides around us. Next, food articles like ice cream, milk, butter, halwa, fruit juices, these are also collides. Next one, soil. Soil is also an example of collides around us. So these are the collides around us. What are the collides around us? First one, blue color of the sky, blood, formation of delta, fog, mist and rain, food articles and soil. Next one, applications of collides, where you are using this collides principle. You know, smoke is a colloidal solution of solid particles such as carbon particle, arsenic compound, poisonous compounds, dust. That means smoke from industries contains so many solid particles like carbon particles, arsenic compounds, and so many dust particles in air. The smoke before it comes out from the chimney is lit through a chamber containing plates having a charge opposite to that carried by a smoke particles. This smoke is a colloid. It carries some charge. So you have to pass this colloid through some plates. This plates contains electrolyte. That electrolyte contains some ion which is opposite to the colloid of this smoke. The particles on coming in contact with these plates lose their charge and get precipitated. Once precipitated means all the solid particles settled down there only. The particles that settle down on the floor of the chamber. The precipitator is called Cartel precipitator. You can see the diagram here. Cartel precipitator. Smoke is entered into this side. Here high voltage. So here some precipitated ash because this smoke contains ions. This electrolyte contains opposite ions. Both ions precipitated and settled down here. So only gases free from carbon particle only you will get. This is called Cartel precipitator. It is important for examination. Next, purification of drinking water. The water obtained from natural sources often contains suspended impurities. This alum, already alum used in earlier slide. Alum is used to stop bleeding. In the same way, alum is added such water to coagulate suspended impurities and make water fit for drinking purpose. This alum is here also. It is used to coagulate impurities. Alum is used in the purification of drinking water also. So medicines, in medicines these colloids are using in medicines like syrups. So many colloids using. Next, colloids are using in the cleaning action of soap. So that dirt particle and soap particle, finally it will give emulsification. So emulsion is also one type of colloid. Photographic plates and films, here also colloids you are using. In rubber industry, this one rubber plating, the principle colloids principle is used in rubber plating. So many industries like paints industries, colloids. Next one, last point, artificial rain. In the making of artificial rain also this colloids principle is using. So with this I want to conclude this chapter, surface chemistry. So I completed this entire chapter in this 6 videos. Please watch all these videos and revise and get prepared for your examination. Okay, thank you.